Hey, what's up, YouTube? It is Melanie back with Melanie Loves Death Metal, and I am talking about 3 classic albums today. Classic death metal albums that I finally got into my collection. Talk a little bit about some history and backstory and where you can buy these records. So these are 3 records that I've wanted in my collection for a while now, specifically on vinyl. I have a couple of them on other formats, but I figured they finally reissued these on vinyl records, so I would just pick them up, and yeah, they're in my collection now. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start with the one that I was probably the most excited to get, and this is actually a reissue through NWN, Nuclear War Now Productions. They pressed this, I think, like 2 months ago or so on a bunch of different, on a couple color variants and then black, and it sold out really quick, and I didn't get it then, but then they reissued it again, and then put some more stock on their website due to a bunch of them that were damaged during shipping, and they were able to get those replaced, and then they reissued it on a picture disc. So I finally grabbed it. So if you know what I'm talking about, then if you know that backstory, you know what I'm talking about, and that is Imprecation with Tagiria Goetia Sema. I don't do well with those album titles. Chris Moyen, album art in color, which you don't usually see too often. So yeah, Texas death metal. This is a compilation. So basically, this was put out a while ago, back when Drowned Productions, and then they got moved to, what were they called after that? And then now they're Extreme Metal or whatever they're called. I don't know. So they recorded and released their first demo, Ceremony of the Nine Angels, in 1992. After a few modifications to the lineup, then they released Sigil of the Baphomet EP the following year on the Spanish label Drowned Productions. That's what it was. In 94, they recorded 3 new songs that they released as a tape called Promo 94 in anticipation of completing a full album. Recognizing these early recordings, Drowned, which had recently changed its name to Repulse Records, that's what it was, Repulse Records, and then now it's Extreme Music, compiled the EP and the demo as a CD and released it entitled whatever, what I just read, and so now it's being reissued on vinyl. So that's the backstory of it. I literally have it on my notes right here. I should have just read my notes. So it's a compilation. This is Texas death metal. I would say it's pretty raw sounding death metal. It's not cleaned or polished by any means. It's very sinister, dark sounding death metal, and I absolutely love it. It reminds me a lot of like some of the like Arch Goaty kind of music, even though Arch Goaty I think is technically black metal. I don't know, whatever, but it has a little bit of that like ambiance, that like sinisterness to it, is the best I can explain it. So NWN did a phenomenal job with this pressing, and YK posted an unboxing video of this on their Instagram and probably their other socials. And the thing is, I was just gonna get the CD. I would have been happy with the CD, but after watching his unboxing videos and finding out like the differences between the two, I ultimately got the vinyl record for the booklet. So this booklet, the CD obviously has a booklet, but it's a lot more condensed, not as much stuff in here. And this is a fat booklet. It is so nice, very nicely done. And they just pressed this comp on a tape box set that is a split release with Goat Throne Records. And that was also tempting. I almost got that as well. But again, I went with the vinyl, but it's really cool. It's got the back, the history of the band, and there's just a bunch of awesome pictures in here. There you go. Flyers and promos and pictures of their demo tapes, right there. So it's just a really nice collection of, the history behind the band. This is one of those underground old school death metal gems that I feel like people should get into their collection and should appreciate it if you're into it. It's not like that very clean, polished death metal that you hear nowadays. Like, it's got a much rawer sound to it, but it's so fun to listen to, and I just absolutely love it. So this is really cool. In the middle of the book is this flyer for a show that happened with Cannibal Corpse Grave, Samael, and Imprecation. Looks like they might have opened up for all this. It was on October 27th. I don't know the specific date. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I really want this. Oh, there's another flyer in here where they played with Fear Factory and Obituary. So that's cool. It doesn't have the specific date though. There you go. So there's all these concert flyers and stuff like that. So the booklet alone was essentially the reason why I bought the record. It also comes with a poster of the art, or no, sorry, not the artwork. This, here you go. Is that the EP or something? I can't remember. Ceremony of the Nine Angels, was that their EP that it was called? Yeah, no, sorry, that's their demo. Not, you know, pretending to be an expert here. So this is a poster of the demo artwork. And then the gatefold, again, it's really glossy. It's really nice quality. So the initial reissue of this had like this really cool blue splatter edition, and they had it available on the website, and I could have gotten it, but I just, for some reason, come on, could not pass up the picture disc, which I don't generally do, but just the thought of having Chris Moyen's artwork, you know, on a picture disc, and there's the other side. And picture discs, you know, their reputation are pretty bad from the past, but I have several now and they all sound great. And this was more of like a collector's item than anything for me. So that's what I picked up. I picked up the picture disc edition, but I'm pretty sure there's still some standard black and like a blue version of this as well, like a blue splatter version. So I might actually grab the CD too, just to have multiple formats. The CD has a little bit different, still has a bunch of the promotional pictures and stuff like that, but it's not that big booklet. The tape box set was really tempting, just because it's a split release with Go Throne. I love Go Throne. I have not bought from them in a long time, and I really wanted to. It just looked cool. The box looks really nice, but I told myself I know that I'll probably appreciate this a little bit more. Vinyl is typically the format that I prefer to collect anyway, although I haven't bought tapes in a while, and I've been seeing some stuff being issued today specifically. Also, it is storming really bad outside. I guess we're getting like a tropical depression or something this weekend. I don't know. Arlene or something is out there in the Gulf. It's hurricane season officially, I think in like 2 days. So anyway, so yeah, but I've been seeing some, it's release Friday today. I've been seeing some new tapes being reissued today or being released, like a Frozen Streams came out with a couple, and it's just been a while since I've bought a bunch of tapes. So I might, you know, go on a little bit of a bender after I get some of my financial shit out of the way. So we are moving into a much bigger place next month, and so just, yeah, my life is going to be chaotic for the next couple of weeks of packing and stuff, and I'm not looking forward to moving that whatsoever. Okay, so the next thing that I got, Hell's Headbangers. I saw this on Hell's Headbangers. They did like a huge promotional release for it. Dark Descent Records as well, I believe. Were they the main ones that pressed this? I can't remember. But anyway, I got this through Hell's Headbangers. I don't know, was Hell's Headbangers like the one that actually pressed this? Or released it? No, I think it was just Dark Descent. I can't remember. Anyway, it would make sense if it was Dark Descent. So I have this on CD, and I also have it on tape. I have the Dissonant Tapes version of it, which I think I've shown on here, and I've shown the CD on here too, because I got it through Dark Descent. But I've always wanted this on wax, and a big reason for that is the artwork. And they finally reissued it, and I slept on it a while. Actually, I didn't notice it right away. And then I saw it. I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this. And what I'm talking about is the Timeghoul pressing that just came out not too long ago. And these are still available on Hell's Headbangers, by the way. One of the colors that I really wanted is sold out, and so I ended up getting this color. That's the only one that they had in stock. But this is their 1992 to 94 discography compilation. The only music that they've put out, death metal, sci-fi death metal in its weirdest, I guess you could say. But the reason why I really wanted it on wax is because this is Mark Riddick's artwork. And as you guys know, huge Mark Riddick fan. I did a giveaway with him last January, which is crazy to think that it's been almost a year. He's done a bunch of streams with Ken, and like we've talked quite frequently, and you know, I'm a huge fan of his artwork. And when I saw that this was finally being pressed on vinyl and I was able to get it, because Timeghoul stuff can be kind of a pain in the butt to get. Like, they sell out pretty quick in regards to the records. Tapes and CDs are relatively easier to find, but their vinyl for whatever reason sells out super quick. But the thing is on the other side of this jacket is a recent piece of artwork that he did called Gut Spawn, which was a limited run on t-shirts. So they added that onto this jacket, and that was a big selling point, because look at that. That's such, you know, awesome, iconic Mark Riddick artwork. So that was the reason why, a big reason why I got this. Yes, the music is also fun to have, and it was fun to press this on vinyl, or fun to have it on vinyl and listen to it. I just got this, literally just got this today, by the way. And I listened to it as soon as I opened the box. So printed inner sheet, and then on the other side is, you know, liner notes and stuff. But the coolest thing about this is that there is a liner note up here at the very top. It's a lot of small tiny words, and it's actual actually other side, it's on this lyric side on the very top, and it's actually Mark Riddick, like what he has said about the band, the story of like how he found them, like all this backstory around it. So just another cool little tidbit about this pressing. So if you have this, I can't remember, I was gonna look at my CD, I don't know, I'm sure this is probably in the CD too, like in the liner notes, but I didn't actually ever read it until now. I don't always do that. Most of the time when I get records these days, I just play it and do other stuff while it's playing, and I don't just sit down and read the lyrics and stuff like that. I used to do that a lot when I was younger. I would just sit, read the lyrics while I was listening. I don't do that as much often, but I did that today. I've got some time on my hands. It's Friday. And the color that I got, which I would have been happy with just plain black, to be honest with you. I was not a huge fan of this, and I saw that it said clear, and I thought it was just going to be just plain clear vinyl, but it's got this green line through it, which is fine, whatever. It sounds fine, it looks cool, but in terms of, like, you know, the can't talk, the layout of like the vinyl, how it's black and white and stuff like that, I don't know. This color just didn't really make much sense to me. There's another one that was like this black vinyl with some purple splatter and stuff, and that one looked a little bit cooler. It looked to be a little bit better with the jacket and stuff, but whatever. This was the only one that was available, and I really wanted it, and I wanted to get it before it sold out, because like I said, for whatever reason, this is super annoying to get on wax, and people overprice it on Discogs, and I grabbed it while I could. It sounds great, by the way. And yeah, just that was the selling point really for me. 20 bucks, can't be beat. Great price. Like I said, Hell's Headbangers was the one that had these. And then finally, the last one I'm going to show that I just got is another Hell's Headbangers purchase. They didn't actually press this, but I saw like that they posted like, hey, we have this in stock now. And this is an old-timey classic. One that I actually kind of forgot about, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I did actually just recently listen to this on YouTube. There was a YouTube, Death Metal Supply is like one of my favorite YouTube pages. He uploads just tons of stuff and like does vinyl listens and stuff like that. Well, this was one of them I just recently, it was like a suggestion for me. It's like, oh, I haven't heard that in a really long time. So I listened to it, and then like a couple days later, Hell's Headbangers posted like, hey, we have these in stock, and I was like, wow, that is kind of coincidental. I'm gonna buy this. And what I'm talking about is Epitaph, Seeming Salvation, their first full-length Swedish death metal band from the 90s. This came out in 1982. This was originally released on Thrash Records. It was originally available as a 2 LP set, and it's been reissued like this. So back then they did like a 2008 remix of it, and then this edition is actually the original recording. So there's no remastering. It's the original audio from back in the glory days, as they say. And yeah, the artwork is Christian Whalen, who is an amazing artist as well. And this is just a really, really fun death metal record. I don't know, if you've never heard it, you should definitely listen to it. I would say in regards to like the vocal style, it's a little bit, you know, weirder sounding. Reminds me a little bit of Archgoat. Reminds me a little bit of Timeghoul, actually. But it's got like these amazing riffs that are just very like almost heavy metal influence, but it's definitely death metal, but it's got like that little bit of that heavy metal influential sound on there. But it's a really fun old school death metal record. There you go. And there's the back. So Crypt, the Crypt is who reissued this. I'm not too, like, I've never really bought much from them. I've seen a lot of the stuff that they've done. But yeah, so that's Hell's Headbangers got them in stock. But again, this was originally released on Thrash Records back then. So there's the inner sheet right there. And as you can see, Thrash Records. But yeah, so this is really fun listen. And it's like, you know, I really want that too. So I threw that in with the Timeghoul order. 20 bucks, again, can't be beat. And this is a really awesome vinyl pressing. This is the only color that they are offering. I don't know if it's the only one that they've issued, but it's this bright fluorescent orange with some red and yellow green splattering in the middle. Oh, there we go. Yeah, looks awesome. It looks really awesome. So it just also got super dark. See, it's storming. And it looks like the end of the world outside right now. So I should probably wrap this video up before we get a power surge or something, which happens quite frequently in the Florida area, especially where I live. It storms and we get a massive power surge or something. Come on, get in the goddamn thing. There you go. So those are the three that I wanted to talk about today. I did want to call out one thing. I mentioned that I never showed this on a video, I don't think, and just I pulled it out and listened to it. And so yeah, this Butcher of the Week Devourment. The one thing that I wanted to call out that I absolutely love about this record is not the lyrical content, because it's god awful. Ooh, is it terrible? But the vinyl pressing looks awesome. So yeah, I didn't think I ever showed this off on here, but I pulled this out and listened to it today. So kind of like this is what I'm listening to on a Friday, are these three albums that I just got in this Devourment, which kind of doesn't really go with anything in this playlist, because this is brutal death metal at its finest, I would say, with some of the worst lyrical content ever. But yeah, so this was a Corpse Crystal reissue. These are completely sold out. I don't think he even has backup copies or anything like that. But yeah, I do have this. I just don't think I ever showed it. And just to throw more fuel into the collection update, this was actually a mistake. I actually ordered the regular version of this to have, and then they sent me this on accident. So I reached out and was like, hey, can I have what I actually want? But I ordered Suffocation's Effigy of the Forgotten. I figured since we're talking classics that I actually had to talk about, this is a classic in my, you know, obviously. But they Listenable Records just reissued these on picture disc. And I know that NWN has these in stock, and they also have the blue versions, which is what I ordered. I really wanted another copy on vinyl, just because it's like one of my all-time favorite albums, and et cetera, and I just wanted to add something to my order, just to make the shipping and stuff like that worth it. And they sent me this, so I sent them an email. I was like, hey, do you still have the other one in stock? Because as much as I like picture discs and I think that they're cool and stuff, I absolutely hate that Listenable reissued these without a regular jacket. This is all you get. Like, and this is essentially what is my King Diamond ones back there. they're frame worthy. Putting this on a shelf and stuff like that would drive me bonkers. So yeah, but I figured I'd show that off because it's pretty cool. So if you're into picture discs, check these out. Listenable Records is €1. I think they're in France, so it's a little bit expensive to get their stuff shipped here to the US, but I love when distros in the US get their stuff, specifically Hell's Headbangers and NWN. And then Meteor Gem also gets their stuff in, so it makes it a little bit easier. So yeah, if you're interested, go to NWN. They have these, and they look phenomenal. They look awesome. I mean, so if they're out of stock of the other one, I'll just end up keeping this. But for now, that was something else, some of the other stuff that I got in like orders, and I figured just make a video 20 minutes worth of blabbing. Anyway, happy Friday, happy weekend. New stuff coming next week. The Vomitory videos coming next week. Cannibal Corpse, hopefully. I'm just waiting on one final record that I don't have in my collections. I can show it. I finally got it through Discogs. I found a really good price for it. So, and then I'm going to do a whole discography thing. But yeah, have a great weekend. I'll see you guys in the next one.